All right. All right. What is this? All right. We had a little technical difficulties. Like I did the other day, was like, yeah, it's not available. Live is not available right now. I'm like, don't do this. But is what it is, right? And that's what it is. But I am I seem to be live. Drop some stuff here. Get out of streamline this a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Make sure this is because I have a feeling I'm not gonna. This is not gonna go for 2 hours. I have a bad feeling that we're gonna lose at some point. But until then, no idea what I'm gonna write today. I'm not feeling anything. I'm not. Just not. I'm just not there. So maybe I'll start. I just started a new short story just to start something this morning, just to get some writing in. So I'm gonna do that until somebody jumps into the chat. But I got all these new pop up things I gotta go through. Did you read the thing? I don't know what I'm writing today, Charlie. How's it going? I started a brand new short story, and it was more or less based on an idea that I had while watching something last night. My back itches. I actually had two ideas last night, and then one of them dropped out of my head. Then when I woke up this morning, I had this one, and I'm like, no, maybe I'll write on this. Maybe I'll do like the goal is. What's going on, Keith? My goal is let me write 500 words on this new short story and see where it goes. Other than that, I have no idea what I'm doing. I might play a little around a little bit on King of the Mountain. I might play around on Carnifex. I got a couple other short stories that I had started a while ago. I don't know what I'm going to work on. I need to just write on something today. Get some words down. Because I'll be around tomorrow. The Friday will be a travel day. Friday night I might get some writing in, but I might also just go, you know what? It's our anniversary weekend, and even when my Wife is downstairs gambling. I might just read. I might just bring a book with me, and I might just start a book and just get some reading in. Just relax. You relax. Don't tell me to relax. So that's kind of where I am. Right, I have no idea if I'm going to get any actual words in or anything. We're going to hang out today. We're going to have a good time, though. Hopefully, that is the goal, right? We're gonna watch some ads. Tom Duffy, who? Tom says, word. There's a weird symbol in front sometimes of when people post. I don't know what that is. It's weird. It's bothering me. Troy says, I haven't been doing a lot new writing this week, but I have been editing a few stories for upcoming submission calls. Very cool. I need to get some of that stuff out there, you know. I get so many short stories. What are all these pop-up things? Oh, sorry, I'm just reading because now I'm monetized. It's like engage with the audience, start a Q&A, start a poll, members only live streams, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I got to get some of these short stories out there. That's a definite. I also got to do my newsletter today and send out an email for MondoCon, my second email for that. Key says, I got 500 words in this morning, slowing down as I feel the depression of saying goodbye to these characters setting in. You're not writing any more of these characters? Are you going to jump onto another book in the series? Trey says, you probably have a pretty good backlog of stories you could send out to a bunch of places. I have over 100 short stories, and this is none of the garbage from the 1990s. This is all literally over the last 10 years. I have short stories. Now there's like several short stories that are I probably had like 20, 25 rejections from over the years, and so those I try not to do anything with. The goal is to with those, the goal is to maybe rewrite them, maybe look at them because they're kind of old. But I have more than enough stories. I just need to really do the research. I need to sit down with Do a Trope and go through. On Friday, even though I won't be here, I've scheduled posts. So I had another one that just dropped about half an hour ago. Video. You guys can watch that one later. Please watch all the videos, the ads. How I deal with imposter syndrome. And then Friday will be how I deal with rejections. And then Sundays will why I mostly set stories in Florida and New Jersey. So those are the videos just dropped or out. I recorded a couple of videos for because I knew I wasn't going to be here. So check those out if you can. Tom says, don't forget to name drop as many people as you can in the newsletter. Well, you know that's going to happen. What's up, Chad? Chad in the house. I watched that Tiger game last night, Chad. Pretty good game. They won. Red Sox, they win a couple. They're like, oh, we're back. Yankees are losing, and then the Red Sox get shelled. Chad says, Charlie says, I had to start a spreadsheet to keep up where I sent stories to make sure I didn't send the same stories. That's what I have. I have a which has developed over the years because there was a point where I was sending to like 5 places. And then as new places came, as new places dropped, it was like, oh. So now I just basically list what I do is I list the story. I list the year I wrote it, title of the story. How do I do this? Let me look at it, Charlie. This is the way I do it. Year, title of the story, the word count, the genre, was it submitted, where it was submitted, what the submission date was it rejected column or was it published column, and then after that is notes on the story, like, you know, in the genre it might say Lovecraftian horror, but in the notes it might say something else. And then I'm just listing the all that, and then once it hits rejected, then I basically just put it on the bottom again. So there are 500 and something um, things listed so far just in this document, and I've only been using this probably about 6 months. So there's like I'll go to the bottom and I'll look. I'm like, all right, let's see what I have, and let me. How many times has this one been rejected? Let me just go up the line. So, but right now I got over 100 stories that have no homes. So I probably need to find some homes for some of this stuff, and then go, hey, Holmes. Chad says was a good tight game, 4 wins in a row now. I know they're doing good. They're getting it together. Kesley Jansen coming on in the ninth. He pitched for the Red Sox until he was a jerk. So he's moving up in the all-time saves column. But yeah, good game. I saw that other kid. Was it Parker Meadows, the kid who ran into the other guy the other night? He's on the 60 day. They didn't even put him on the 15 day. He's got like concussion, broken arm, the whole thing. So that dude is like out until late summer, which really, really sucks. Lorraine in the house. Hey guys, Armand, thank you for joining in on my premiere of Permafrost. With your schedule, I didn't expect you'd be able to drop it. What's funny is I remember talking to you yesterday. I was like, oh, my thing. You're like, oh, it's gonna premiere at 11 a.m. And I was like, oh, my next video premieres at 11:15 or 11:30. It was 11:30. Up, looking, and all of a sudden I was like, I had to do something at 11. Something's happening here. And then I realized, oh, Lorenzo. So I jumped in a couple minutes late. Have a good day.
Thank you.
I will see you later tonight.
Come on, Alice.
Why she rolls over on the dog every day. I mean, they've been doing this for I don't know a year, and every morning the dog, as my wife goes to pick up the dog to take her out, she rolls over. I'm like, no, we don't want you to roll over. But it was fun, Lorraine. I liked it. Thank you very much for doing the review. I'm gonna be honest with you. Watching it, and you were like, oh, it was like that part 2 thing was jarring because it was different from that first one, and I wanted it to be. I wanted there to be I wanted you to. I knew part 1 was going to be about the kids in permafrost, and I wanted you to get really involved in their story, and then kind of give you a little cliffhanger. And I knew part 2 was going to be the parents because I didn't want the whole book to just be them. That first prophet chapter was from what you were reading, which it was not done on purpose. It was just me writing. And again, that book I wrote on Patreon. So I was writing 1 chapter a month basically on that one. But I'm glad it came back through, and I'm glad you liked it. I'm working on Carnifex, which is the sequel to Permafrost 30 years later with those characters. So I'm about halfway done with that book now. Just I pulled out 2 shorts that Bode and I have unpublished. One was published, but the Antho got canceled, which happens way too much. Then it was shortlisted. Need to find a home for it. It's a good one. They both are. Good luck with that. Get those out there. Especially, I enjoy your stuff. I enjoy Bowden's stuff, and I think the 2 of you work well together. I always thought when me and Jay Wilburn wrote together, that was some of my best stuff for both of us. I'm so glad you did. I felt like Elvis entered the building. I didn't mean to freak anybody out. I was just like, oh, it's on. Let me go on here. We need more Lorraines. We definitely need more Lorraines in the world. Exactly. That's why I'm glad Lorraine found us, and I'm glad Lorraine is part of our group, the boys. You know what I'm saying? Lorraine said, I look forward to reading that one. Oh, thanks, Chad. I can use encouragement. Lost a couple of subscribers today. Really? Hopefully not for my video. It's so weird, the subscriber thing, right? It's just I don't get it. I just broke 66,000 subscribers. Not to brag or anything, not to make you feel bad, Lauren. I'm just saying. And it makes no sense. So I'm up to in 3 days I've made $15. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm up to $15. So I'm at $5 a day. So it's about $150 a month is my average in this first month. I'll take it. $150. I'm losing about 150 on Amazon at this point this month. So I got no problem with that. Not a big deal if you have plenty of subscribers, but I don't. Yeah. Yeah, when you're at that small number and then you lose a couple. I'm sure I'm losing tons of them back and forth, but you don't notice. You know. We're gonna build you up though, Lorraine. We're gonna get you up there. Charlie says 66,000 is nuts. You have to shut it down at 69. Oh, Charlie, there's a lady in the house. Chess has been there, Lorraine. That back and forth with the numbers is aggravating. Yeah, exactly. Chad also yelled that you had a lady in here, Charlie. My subs stay pretty steady on YouTube, but I go up and down on Substack. It's like everything. It's like I try not to. I mean, on this, I'm excited. 66,000 is exciting. But yeah, when I was at like 300, 400, 500, and I was like, wait, I lost. How many did I lose? Charlie apologized, which is good. And that was my thing. I was like, I'm losing people here. Like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Yeah, leave the jokes for Mr. Frank. Yeah, he doesn't care. So for me, I was like, it would freak me out. But on all things, like I remember at one point I had like 250,000 or more followers on Twitter, which I literally built, over years and years. And then all of a sudden Elon took over, and then I lost more than half of the subscribers within, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months. And they're just people that just dropped out, people that were like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't even know what I have over there anymore. I'm gonna go take a gander and see how many followers I even have over there. I don't even really post too much. I'll post my videos over there. There's a few people over there, but normally, what do I have? I have 116.8 thousand followers. 116,000 is still pretty good, but again, I had over 250. I might have had like 280. So, but again, every post you go to the homepage, every post on Twitter is people fighting and people arguing, and so I'm gonna just like I get notifications. These are Charlie comments. Thank you, Charlie. Otherwise, it's like random people. It's Claire 197B. That's literally her thing with 2 eyes and Claire. I'm like, you're not a real person. Nobody on here is a real person. And everything trending is politics. So we're going to get off of that. I'm too sensitive with the numbers. My oldest son chastises me all the time about it. I'm that way too. Jess says nobody follows me on Substack. Are you posted on Substack, Chat? Because I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing an email that you're posting on there. And I'm just asking if you are posting, then I'm not sure why you're not getting people. Ryan says, "Don't worry, Charlie. It went over my head. It's likely it'll likely click later." Trust, I think I subbed to you too, Chad, but if you're posting anything, I don't think Substack showed it to me. Yeah, me neither. I haven't posted in a bit, Charlie. Not even sure what to post there. Oh, that's right, Chad. You're on Substack too, right? I need to click follow. Charlie says, yeah, I'm not getting any traction on X, Twitter. I won't call it X. Lorraine says, or subscribe. Can't remember. Too new to the forum. Yeah. I think you do well within the algorithm on Substack if you're also commenting on other people's things too. So even if you're not posting something, like anytime Charlie, most of the time Charlie puts a short story, I will read it and comment. Says my Twitter followers went down a little after the Butthurts went to Blue Sky and made that the new cesspool. Blue Sky was great in the beginning. Blue Sky when it, I mean, like I got to turn the slate off. It's bothering me. Blue Sky at first was like, all right, oh good, all the political people are staying over on Twitter. We're over here now. Let's sell some books. And then all of a sudden, like the next day, you look and like, oh, they found us. Oh, they're all over here now. Tom says, unless your account is about crazy to get traction on X, no, not at all. Tristan, since you have books and a readership, you can post updates on your new books or post story notes or something. Yeah, you have stuff you can post, Chad, and it doesn't have to be a long note. Basically, here's my new book. Anything you're posting on Facebook, you can also post there. I put all of my YouTube video links over there. I don't know if it helps or not, but it's basically at this point it's something to put up there. You know what I mean? The people who caused the drama on Twitter, ironically, the same people complaining about the drama on Twitter, went and stuck their stinky toes in the Blue Sky pool, and now we can't have nice things. Nope. And the problem is that they don't realize that they're the problem. They think they are helping. They're the solution. You know what I'm saying? That I think is also part of the problem. Holy crap, with this Fidelity Life spam message. I get like 10 of them, and they all spell Fidelity Life, and they move they put a period in there for some reason, and then it keeps moving all of the things, same crap over and over. Is anyone on Threads? How is that up? I am so I use Buffer to post ads. So like I'll do a YouTube video and then I go on using Buffer and I'm on Threads, Blue Sky, and my Facebook author page. So those are the only three things that I post on now. So I schedule posts on those. And then I think my author page also dumps it to there too. I don't know. So I don't know. Again, I don't know where anything is coming from. Chess says the last thing I posted on Substack was a week ago when I announced the 3 Smile Mile weekend sale. Ray says, so I can post stuff about my upcoming books on Substack. Oh yeah. Oh, sweet Jesus, yeah. Substack should be really good. What I see is like the behind the scenes type of stuff, but I'm like I'll just make a YouTube video and post it up there. But if you get like, hey, we're only however many days until my book release, Lorraine, if you have it up for pre-order, you post that. Charlie likes Substack. Charlie, you post a lot on there, which is pretty good. So you definitely, I'm sure you're going to be building it up. People will are reading along. Initially, I thought Substack was supposed to be more of newsletter exclusive writing bits, but are most people just using it like another Twitter? Well, you're basically, some people are using it. Most people are using it as their newsletter now. Most people are posting updates and whatnot. I don't know. There's just something about like when they had all that Nazi stuff there, like last year was like, oh yeah, all the Nazi organizations, all those organizations are have pages on there and nobody's doing anything about it. Then I was like, really hesitant to do anything on there, but I kept my page. I just didn't post or anything. And then when I started doing the YouTube videos, I was like, oh, I can just dump them over there. It's just another place. Maybe people will watch my videos and come in to this channel. So I'm using it that way. I see a lot of people are writing short stories or chapters of books. So I look at it just more like Patreon. They're using Substack more like Patreon. But I mean, it's person to person. Charlie says, I do Substack and YouTube are going to be my main social media sites. I'm glad to have people reading my stories that don't get accepted. Yeah. Lorraine says, I thought it was just for short stories for some reason. No, it's for anything. It's another social media, and eventually it will be ruined by everyone, and hopefully we'll find something else. I still have my Patreon, which has like 40 something people that follow. Most of them are the free version. I make like $40 a month maybe on that now. But I do that for me. I do every Monday I do the week that was, and I detail all of my writing from the previous week and all of my food eating from the previous week on my Patreon. I do 2 different books. I do a chapter of those books. Like Permafrost was one of the books that I wrote over like 4 years on there. And then I do a short story. So like actually tomorrow is a short stories due. I have no idea what short story to put up there, but it'll be something from the list, probably something that hasn't sold or something that's a little different that maybe it'll be a tougher sell for me. So I put up a short story that's like the $5 level. Chad says, just be careful, Charlie. If you post any considered unpublished, you'll have to sub them to places that accept reprints. Yeah. There's a guy not Win the good one that we hang out with, but another one in town. And he sent to some I can't remember what publisher, it might have been like Tor or somebody like that. And his story had been published on his website like 2 years ago or something. They were like, yeah, we don't know. It's already been published. And he couldn't understand why it was published. He's like, I didn't get paid for it. It was just on my own page, like literally 6 people, blah, blah. And I'm like, and he's an old guy. He's like 80 something years old. And I'm like, that's the rule, man. That's what happens. Troy says there's a Twitter aspect with the notes, but you also create a homepage that works sort of like an author website, and you can use it for your newsletter. Troy says I just started posting chapters for paid subs, so I'm using it as a combination of Twitter, author website, email list, and Patreon. Tom says you should put up the one about the guy who sits at your seat at the table, and you've met that person. I think that's in one of my short story collections now, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look that one up. Because I have I'm an old man. I literally have a list. I have a list of page after page of all of the short stories, and they're color coded if I've put them in one of my short story collections. What was the name of that thing? This is not going to be like when I was trying to find that song. Remember, I did like 45 minutes of trying to find that dumb song. No, it was way after all this. I would hope that like see I have a website armandrosamilia.com. I never use it. I'm paying maintenance or whatever every month, and I told Chenzo who created it, I said, man, I don't want to, I don't need this website anymore. Who's using a website anymore? You know, I just look at it and I'm like, this is not, this just seems like a waste of time. I kind of remember the name of this. It's funny when you're reading through story titles and I'm like, I don't remember some of these. I don't remember writing all of these stories. And I went through a period on Twitch 2, 3 years ago, maybe, where I was writing a short story every week on there. And I would start with a title. But then the problem is a lot of times the title had nothing to do with the story afterwards. I'm like, yeah, I got to change that title. That doesn't. Like, I have this really cool title and I think I know a story. And I'm like, no. Here's the problem: is just page after page after page of stories, and I can't find it. I don't know. Joe says, "Yeah, I'm mostly resigned to self-publishing, so I'm not too worried about the first print rights. I'm hoping to build a readership on there that'll help with crossover sales." Keith says, "I let my website go zero traffic." Yeah, like, I don't know anybody who's really. It's funny when I was like doing interviews with authors, and I was like, "Well, let me look them up, let me Google them and find their website." And most of the time, I'm like, "Yeah, this is like was updated like 4 years ago." Nobody's using them. Chess says 45 minutes of skipping over 89 Thunder Mother songs, but not realizing you're looking for a Thunder Mother song. Yeah, pretty much. That video right there, me 45 minutes of looking for a song that was right in front of me. That's why I have 60 something thousand subscribers. Tom says, don't resign yourself to self-publishing. That being said, also do what you want. Lorraine says, yeah, the table story was a great one. Charlie says, I submit short stories, but as far as novels collections go, I'm just going to self-publish. Have never had any luck with queries or manuscript subs. Keith says, you need to put that notepad into an Excel file so you can search keywords. yeah. Like I know how to do any of that. I'll say to my wife, here, put these in. So I have an Excel spreadsheet with all of them on there already. And as they get accepted up, they're marked off, and then they're highlighted in yellow, and I know that. But I always have to write them down too. So I have on my spreadsheets, I have a one that just says finished stories, no matter how long it is, and then I write all the information, type all the information out on there, and then I can put that in alphabetical order or released it, whatever, and then I have them written down in front of me. I need it in front of me. Like I have a planner on my desk, so I can look, and I don't have to look on my phone or look something up. But for the amount of times that I'm actually just kind of looking at for something, you know what? Let me go back here. Yeah, I'll pull out one of the short story collections. I think it was already published. Lorraine says, querying is a ridiculous process. Wait. Oh, you want my full manuscript? Great. Wait. Oh, you like it but can't sell it? Bummer. Hand signal is always in effect, Frank, but I'll do it for you again. I didn't have to watch a commercial beforehand. That's odd. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, in 3 days, I've made about $15 so far. So I appreciate everybody who is watching the ads. Keith says it's coming. So this draft to digital thing, what does everybody think about that? I was on that forum, that short mystery forum. We were going back and forth, a bunch of people about it this morning. I think YouTube has me watching them all for you, Frank. And then, so in case you don't know, if you use Draft to Digital, if you make less than $100 a year, which I guess most people probably are, you got to pay $12 now for them. Or if you have if you're brand new to Draft to Digital, they're going to charge you $20 setup fee. And I know why they're doing it. They're doing it because they're not making any money. They're doing it because they want to stay in business. 100% I get that. I looked at my numbers over the past 4 years of having books, and some of them are older books, like I think the Shocker books are in there, a couple other things. I make an average of like $12 a year on Draft to Digital. So then they're going to basically just take my $12. And I'm like, ugh. Right, so the last ads that happened startled me. I'm on headphones, so the change is dramatic. All of a sudden, they're like screaming at you. Frank said, I haven't used Draft to Digital in ages. I think that fee is a direct result of across the... Yeah. What does everyone think about Kindle forcing people with Kindles to buy newer Kindles because the old ones won't be compatible as of next month? I thought those were older Kindles, though. I thought those were like 10 years old or something. Wasn't there a cutoff date thing? Because like I have a Kindle Fire, but it's like 3 years old or something, so it should still be good. Chess says, I'm pissed I don't have one of those cheap Kindle Fires. I've got a Paperwhite. Yeah, I have a cheap Kindle Fire. Literally, all I do is read books on that. I don't do anything else. Chad, if your 15-year-old Kindle still works, then bless you. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it is. It's older ones. But I could be wrong. But I know on the Draft to Digital thing, everybody is like, well, I'm just going to take all my books off then. And then somebody's like, yeah, but if you read the thing fully, if you have an account, they charge you. Doesn't matter how many books you have on Draft to Digital. They're going to charge you $12. And then if you have nothing on there, then every year you owe them $12. And if you ever want to use it again, they're going to get their $12. They're going to charge you whatever you have on file, you know. Frank says, I haven't used my e-reader in years. Frank says, I read Kindle books on my laptop half the time, so hopefully that won't affect me. Frank reads ebooks in his phone. See, I like the Kindle Fire lying down in bed. Just the problem with the Kindle Fires is you can't read them outside in the sun. I like to read out in the sun as I desperately try to get some color in this Casper skin. Keith says, I read books. He's so old school. My Kindle Fire has a nice, what do you call it, thing. I sit outside all the time and read it under the direct sunlight. I turn it to the white on black, whatever, the dark mode or whatever, and I read it just fine. Tom says, I have a Kindle Oasis, and when that dies, I'll have to buy a different model, like a commoner. Ugh. I feel for you, buddy. Chad likes to be outside for the D. Vitamin D. I see what you did there, Keith. Again, lady in the house. So here's like another one. It's like $12 is an awfully small amount, in my opinion. Yeah, because you're probably making $100 or more on Draft to Digital. So what do you care? You won't get charged. If you're making $100 or more, you're not going to get charged. So somebody said, let's flood their email with, hey, we don't like this, and then maybe they'll change it. And I said, and then the problem with that is within a year, then they'll be out of business. Because this is not, hey, we just want to rip people off. This is, hey, we want to stay in business, and we're not making money because we can't compete with Amazon. which is the reality here. So, but I'm like, I don't have book. I literally, I'm making $1 a month, if that. I don't want to then just hand it back to them. I guess what you have to do if you want out is you have to delist all of your books first. You know how long that takes, and then you have to send them a message. There's a certain spot hidden on their thing somebody said to basically stop your account, or that it's going to automatically charge you the $12. Blah 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 blah. For instance, I use my computer to read books on Kindle when I want to check out a book before purchasing the paperback. Commitment issues. Read the Kindle is for those crappy thrillers from book club. If I'm taste testing a genre unfamiliar to me and use KU, or if I'm blurbing an upcoming book like right now. Chad likes your like a commoner comment, Tom. I love KU. I read several books a month in KU, and it's normally stuff that I might not normally read, stuff I'm not going to do a review of, like a video review. But then again, there's sometimes where there's some good stuff in there, and I'll read it on Kindle. But I do like print books. I always have a something on my Kindle Fire started, and I always have a print book started. I don't do audiobooks at all. I can't. But I'm always reading a couple different things at once. I'm all over the place. So I got to figure out like a print. I'm going to take a print book with me. I'll probably take my Kindle with me on Friday when we go to Biloxi. But we're going to be poolside on Saturday. So I will probably bring a print book. Just easier. Chad says, I can't focus on an audiobook. I can't either. Like, a couple times I've been on long trips. I've gone with my wife to Atlanta, and she's like listening to a book, and then she'd be like, "Oh, that was I didn't see that twist." And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like my mind just wanders, and it doesn't do that when I'm reading an ebook or I'm reading a print book. But when I'm listening to a book, it just I go somewhere else. Lawrence, I love seeing all the ways you guys try to pretend something's off color so you can say lady in the house. I appreciate you, gentlemen. Lorraine, here's I'm being selfish here. You being in here calms everybody down a couple of notches, and I enjoy that. I'm not in danger of getting thrown off of YouTube with you in here. So that's one of the bonuses of having a lady in the house. Tom says, I've tried audiobooks dozens of times and can't do it, even the ones that people say, but you'll like this one on audiobook. Yeah. Charlie also struggles to stay focused on it. Now, my wife loves them. My wife was just in Atlanta for 2 days, and she'll listen to half a book on the way up, and then she listens to the rest of it on her way home. And while she's driving her properties and stuff up there, she'll probably listen to another half of a book or something. So she really enjoys audiobooks, except you have to have a really good narrator. You know, like she reads J.D. Kirk is probably her favorite. He's he's up somewhere in the UK, and he writes about a inspector in the UK, and it's very like Scottish or Welsh, English, whatever it is. And the guy who narrates it also is from there. And everything that guy is narrating, she is listening to. And he's doing a lot of those thrillers from over there. So there's an author that we all know that's been using AI a lot. And she can't listen to his books because she does not like the narrator. And so it's like, well, you know, then I can't listen to his book. So, you know, there's that trade-off. Says, I think the last audiobook I listened to was The First Dirty Deeds. That guy did a good job. Yeah, Jack DeGolia is an amazing. I'm very, very glad I found him. He does cartoons. He does a lot of bigger commercial stuff. So he's really good. I have several books I need to get to him, but I need to make money. I'm like, I got to take some of this YouTube money, but so far $15 ain't gonna cut it. But we're 3 days in, so. Chad says the best audiobook narrator I've ever heard is actor Steven Weber reading it. That guy is amazing. What's the was it Bronson Pinchot? Balky, that guy? He's done tons of audiobooks. And everybody says he does an amazing job. And I'm like, good for you, dude. Good for you. A lot of people today just reading through these various threads and whatnot. It's like the sky is falling. Barnes and Noble now, your print books can't be under $14.99 when you print through them. There's a rumor that they're going to do the same with your ebooks. You're going to get more in line with the big five publishers now. You can't have $4.99, $5.99, $6.99 ebooks anymore. Just a wise man. Oh no, not a wise man. Chuck Buda said last night that they're squeezing us out. They're squeezing us indie people out. He says, I bought Reformatory on Audible. The narrator is incredible, but I couldn't get very far. I had to buy the paperback. Does he do all the books with his Balky voice? Of course. Why would you not want the Balky voice? I never really watched that show back in the day. I just, I remember the commercial. I'm thinking, this guy seems really annoying, and the straight guy with him, he seems really boring. So something else I never watched. Nightmare Book 2, scary to listen to, narrated by Gilbert Gottfried and Rosie Perez. The guy from Perfect Strangers is funny, yeah. Apparently he's won awards, all kinds of stuff. I can only, Gilbert Gottfried, you wouldn't even understand what he'd just be like screaming in that voice the whole time. But man, Rosie Perez, it's like, especially back in the day, I was like, oh, she's cute. Oh, she opened her mouth. Oh. That's a good breakdown of the sitch. You should do a video about it. I'm trying not to get into those type of videos. Maybe I'll do those as the because I can do other videos, like another tier of videos or something. A membership thing. Maybe I can do some hard hitting journalism ones. But there, you got to pay for it. That way, you can't really yell at me because you've paid for it. But I don't see me really doing that anytime soon. But it would be a good idea, I think. Amazon wanted me to charge $10.99 for the memoir books to get a higher royalty. I thought that was weird, but maybe they all just want to earn X per. Yeah. Gilbert Gottfried, Rosie Perez, and Bobcat Goldthwait performing Death of the Salesman. I'd watch that. I wouldn't listen to it on audiobook, though. I'm still trying to decide what to set my debut at. What you need to do is you need to find comps of indie authors who have released books and what their ebook and print book prices are. There's a guy who runs a writers group here, and he put his ebook at $9.99. His horror book, $9.99, and then I said, "Is it selling?" And he says, "No, I've sold like 4 copies to people I know." And I said, "Where did you get that price?" He says, "Well, like there's a couple of Stephen King." I said, "You're not Stephen King. You're not Stephen King. Why are you setting your prices like the biggest author. You're not that person. Figure out in your level what's your $3.99, $4.99, maybe $5.99, although it's not a longer book. I'm like, I look at crime thrillers and I do $3.99. And most of them are doing $4.99. And I'm still like, I don't want to go up to the $4.99. I'm gonna keep it at $3.99. I used to do $2.99. And then once I saw the comps of people who write like me, what they're doing, and I'm also not a big fan of that step thing where the first book is 99 cents, second book is $1.99, then $2.99, then $3.99, then $4.99, then $5.99. I'm not doing all that. Jesus, Keith, recently they changed the minimal to get a decent royalty, so that might be what they were pushing for. I thought it was $9.99 though. Yeah, I think it was like $9.99 so that you would make some money. Tom says, I'm not buying an ebook at that price. It's something that is created once and has almost no overhead. There's no reason to charge that much. Exactly. Exactly. I find it very, very hard. Very hard. Got it. Well. All right. He says, my other copies are supposed to arrive today, so I'll be sending you them soon. Were you interested in reading Below by Laurel Hightower? Who are you talking to? You're talking to me? No. I have the book on my Kindle, but I have not read it. And I have not read it because somebody that we know is so into her and won't shut up about her, and it just turns me off. And I like her. I've met her several times. We've shared me, her, and Jack Campisi. Jack went at an author con, and then he's like, "Hey, if you want some bourbon, uh, Laurel has it under her table." And then I went over, and she's like, "I got little tiny cups." I'm like, "Give me some bourbon." And then I sat at her table, and she and I had several solo cups of bourbon together. But then that annoying guy came over and he started hitting on her again, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not doing all this." Lorenz says, I plan on setting my ebook dirt cheap for the first week for my ARC readers and subscribers, then bump it up a little. Keith says, my message was for Chad. Sorry. Chad says, I love Jack. Below was not good. I love Jack too. Jack is great. Even though Jack busts my chops sometimes. He's like, oh, I wonder what Armand's eating this week. I will just look at his Facebook page. Does Amazon still let you set the price for an ebook at 99 cents like my pal Gemini said? Yeah, and then you're making 35% royalties on that book instead of the 70. I used to do that. I used to do a pre-order at 99 cents. And then the day the book came out, I would move it up to $2.99. And then I realized for me, I'm like, I feel like I'm losing money because people are going to buy it, and $2.99 is not that big of a price. You're either you're interested or you're not. Nobody looks at that and goes, oh, if it was 99 cents, I would buy it. But it's $3. That's just too much money. Frank says, I wonder how much of this issue is fueled by AI books. I think that's a lot of it. I think that unfortunately that's a lot of all of this is people are getting sick of all the AI stuff. Publishers are, Draft to Digital, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all these places are getting to the point where enough already. And not because it's a moral issue with them; it's a money issue with them. I get it. Jack is one of my favorite people I've never met in real life. Oh, you got to meet him in real life. He is hysterical. Yeah, he's a good guy. Jack's a good guy. Oh, I got a draft a digital royalty statement for March. $1.08. $1.08. Goodness. Good night, nurse. Chad, you don't get out a lot, though. I would imagine there's a lot of people that you never. I don't remember if you said. I think you said you hung out with you, like you've met John Bowden, IRL, as us young kids say, in real life. I mean, it feels like I've met him in real life, considering I did a podcast with him for 2 hours every week for a few years. Yeah, but there's nothing like hanging out with the person. You know what I'm saying? Keith, we're looking for another Mothman book. I know Hunter Shea has a recent one out. He writes all that cryptid stuff. I probably already mentioned that. Yeah, Hunter Shea is pretty good. So on Draft Digital, I had 6 books sold last month. 1 book sold this month. But last month I earned 6 books. I earned $1.89. Where is my and I don't the Draft to Digital, the whole website is so like 20 years ago. So on March 2nd, it was one of those sale things. On March 2nd, somebody bought Shocker, Shocker 2 Love Gun, and Shocker 3 Slippery When Wet. Uh, and net sale list price 0. So I sold all 3 books for nothing. I don't know how that even happened. Yeah, I'm just gonna log it. I'm getting a headache with this shit. The hell did I make $1.08? Which is about what I make. So far in 4 months, I've made $3 with them. I better pick up another dollar if I want to give the $12 back. Hunter Shea is just a poor man's Hunter Shea. He says, I'm writing about Mothman in Memoir Book 4. Just was looking for what has been done and if it was anything like what I had in mind. So far, I'm good. So far, I've written about 7 words. Tom, did you read the last chapter? Bigfoot to Mothman? Isn't it Adam Neville's new book about Mothman? And I read last night before bed. I like short stories. I read the light version of Cosmic Horror Monthly. I get the free version, which is like 4 stories instead of 8 stories, and I read those on my Kindle. I like short stories. Those are pretty good. You'll have to read, Lorraine. Ah, I see what you I see what you did there, Keith. Yeah, I'm flagging that, so I'm more than likely gonna. I'm not. Listen, here's the thing with Draft to Digital. It's not like I'm making any money, and it's not like anything's gonna really change over there. So I might as well just put Shocker and all those back into. What are you doing? This lady just stopped her truck in the middle, literally in the middle of the street. Now she's getting out. Where are you going? Where are you going, lady? Oh, looks like she got some books. Ah, she's dropping some books in the little free library. Kids' books, I hope. The other day I went out there and I cleaned it up a little bit because there was a couple books that had been left on top, and somebody had put like a bunch of adult books in the kids one, filled it up. So I had to take them all out. Just annoying. All right, I don't know why you middle of the street. What do you got more? What are we doing here? She got. Where are you going? She got flowers in her hand. You better not be planting flowers in front of my house. No, she's putting them in the back seat for some reason. It looks like she got like 30 kids in that truck. Ugh. Like, you better not be messing with my stuff. Yeah, window look. Oh, you bet I will, Keith. That's the Lorraine threatening you. Or not. Chess says, your little free library filled with Daniel Steele, Nora Roberts, James Patterson, VHS copies of Titanic, all but the last one. Literally, Daniel Steele, Nora Roberts, and James Patterson books are in there, 100%. At one point, we had somebody had we were halfway empty on the adult one, and then some lady showed up. I get people all them into the garage until I can put them in. And some lady had like 30 Nora Roberts paperbacks, stuffing them in. There was like 3 rows. It was just totally packed. And there's like uh, a whatever they called a gabled roofing on it, and so there's that space on top where you can't see when you open the door. But she literally figured out how to pile it all the way to the like very top, and they were all that author. Lorraine says, I know nothing about Mothman. Well, he's a man who eats moths. That's really all you need to know. Keith says, what did I miss? 2 commercials interfered. You missed so much, Keith. We said things about you that could change your life. There's not much out there for Mothman, Lorraine, Point Pleasant. The last commercial taught me I have wavy hair instead of curly. See? We're learning stuff together, people. Tom says, yes, read it. I like it. Good close of the series. Ryan says, then your book will be my introduction. I think you do one of those videos like you did today. Ches says, never read Steele at the end of my first Nora, great writer, and early Patterson was good too. What would you call that genre, Keith? Keith says, cryptid. I was obsessed with reading Daniel Steele and Nora Roberts in high school. A man who eats moths sounds like a creepy story. You better write that one, Charlie, for your Substack. That woman better not be making my house more appealing to the HOA. Yeah, no, but here's the thing. My wife put stuff, so we have Easter stuff still we haven't taken down, probably before we leave. But I have planted stuff in front of the little free library for curb appeal. So when she took out this big thing of giant, it was those fake artificial flowers. I'm like, you better not be sticking that stuff in my lawn. Lady, I got this. Lady, I mean, my wife's got this. There's already a story about a man who eats moth. His name was Renfield. No story is brand new. I bet you Charlie King would kill that one. Lorraine said, a lifetime ago, squeezed them between Ivanhoe, Frankenstein, and Desiree. Mothman is a guy from Okeechobee who runs a moth rescue out of an old abandoned laundromat. That better be your MondoCon story that you're going to be writing. I was a fan of James Patterson. The Alex Cross books. I thought were the first, I don't know, half dozen or so were very good. I read, and but then then he started pumping out books like crazy with other people writing them, and I was like, What is this? I have a message in stage32.com. I don't even know what this is. I'm guessing it's something that I signed up for. I don't know, but if it's something it looks like he wants to purchase one of my random books and make a movie out of it. Well, thank you. Frank says spam. You know what? You are right. I seem to remember though signing up for that maybe many years ago. I have to look up cryptid so I don't look dumb. Hold on, I'll be right back. Keith Renfield ate all bugs. Yeah, Keith or Chad, somebody. Yeah, Jimmy. Mothman is a creepy old man that lives in everyone's grandmother's closet, and when Mothman's balls drop, the closets are suddenly redolent with a very unique smell for life. Bigfoot, Mothman, werewolves, Wampus, cat, all cryptids. Okay, I should have known that word. Where's my vocabulary? Hi, I'm Mothman. Who's sending me messages? Well, it looks good. Lemony salmon orzo bake. A one-pan salmon dinner with creamy risotto-like orzo, bright lemon, and tender asparagus. My wife's best friend, her husband's the one that sits at the head of my table whenever he's at my house, and I want to punch him out. She says salmon. And anytime I say joking around salmon, but then I say it because I think that's the right way to say it sometimes. It does seem pretty good, though. I believe I have all of the ingredients in the house. Maybe I'll get the recipe. Maybe I'll make this for dinner tonight. Oh, the key is to sear the salmon before baking it. Of course, when you look at any of these menus, it's like 400 pages of. My grandmother was born in 1907, and she made this during the Polish occupation. Bubba, nobody cares. Just give me the damn thing. I don't think I have finely chopped shallot. I probably also don't have heavy whipping cream, and I don't have any lemons for lemon zest. All right, we won't make this tonight. But I think I am going to do something with the salmon. Mothman was the tick's sidekick. Ren says Wampus Cat. I have to look that up to be right back. Aren't cryptids specific like Jersey Devil, Bigfoot, Mothman, Frogman, or are general werewolves really cryptids? Frank says it's a silent M. Salem. That makes sense. Salman Rushdie. Werewolves are designated under cryptozoology, Chad. That sounded harsher than I meant, especially the way I read it. I should keep the Wampus Cat in mind since I like to think I write Southern Gothic fiction. The book I'm writing now has a raven mocker. Tom says, I learned this from a chef in Italy. No, you did. Exactly. Keith says they fall under dogmen. I cringe at the L in Salmon. I read a story called Baby Steps about a Renfield attending a 12-step meeting to help stop eating bugs. The bonus story in memoir book 1 is The Boy Who Cried Wampus. I don't know if General Werewolf is a cryptid, but Colonel Werewolf is totally a cryptid. Oh, yeah, 100%. On the chat, it's like we got all these extra little things on the bottom. It's weird. Never noticed them before. I get all kinds of stuff on there. I could insert ads. I could just throw ads in like, yeah, you know what? Boom, ad. 5-star general is for sure a cryptid. Oh yeah, I mean, I think one of the Chad that goes without saying, right? In case you were wondering, I'm not getting any writing done. But a raven mocker is tied in with Cherokee beliefs, religions, so it's probably not a cryptid. No, it's a type of witch raven hybrid. Which is what I've been saying this whole time. So when everybody gets off of here and is done, I have a how I deal with imposter syndrome video that I would like everybody to watch and watch the commercials for, if you don't mind. I've scheduled because I won't be here Friday or Sunday, but Friday around 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, how I deal with rejections video will drop on Friday, and then at 11:15 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, why I mostly set stories in Florida and New Jersey. So I recorded and scheduled videos. I did 3 videos yesterday once I came home from lunch with Tom. And so those will still be hitting hard. Hitting hard or hardly hitting. What a joke. Frank says, my favorite obscure cryptid is the bolt rock slider. Slide rock bolter. I mean, you can really call it whatever you want. My favorite cryptid is every creature from Dark Crystal. Frank had a dyslexic moment there. Key says, I was just about to correct you, Frank. You robbed me the pleasure. He does that. He does that a lot. He's a pleasure robber from way back. I probably will be on tomorrow, though. Realistically, I will be on tomorrow. Only because you asked that, exactly. So I will be on tomorrow, and then you're on your own until Monday. Please behave. Also, please have a good weekend. Actually, my favorite cryptid is that big-eared white thing from Never Ending Story. Pleasure Robber was my nickname at the adult bookstore. That makes sense. The Luck Dragon? There was a commercial on years ago here in Florida. I don't know anywhere else. And they were talking about, it was like a museum or something. Maybe Disney, or I don't know where it was. But they had a display of mythical creatures. Okay. Mythical creatures. And so they had, this is before AI stuff. So they had like drawings more or less of mythical creatures. I'll say it again. Mythical creatures. They had a unicorn. They had a dragon. Something else. And the last one was a woolly mammoth. And every time it came on, I said, that's not a mythical creature. That was a creature that lived up until about 4,000 years ago. That's a creature that was around when the pyramids were being built. What are you talking about? I did remember that commercial, and that was one of the things I pitched, and I just finished. So last week I finished, or this weekend, whenever it was. When was that? Sunday, writing with Chad and Peter Marsh. I finished writing Mammoth for Severed Press. I'm not going to send it to them until June. I'm just going to sit on it for a couple, 3 weeks, and then I'll just do a read through real quick. So that'll probably be my June release with them. And then I finished, yesterday I finished White Trash, the third and final book in the trilogy for me and Tom Duffy. So 2 books were finished in a couple, 3 days here. So I'm very happy, which is why I'm like, I have nothing. So good, but bad. Tom says, my favorite cryptid is myself. Yes. Your nickname is the Attic Dweller. Frank says, the never-ending story always bugged me that I couldn't tell what the heck she names him at the end. Kay says, sounds like you need to shave, Tom. Tom says, definitely. You should do How I Know So Much About Woolly Mammoths video. That would be a good video. I think cryptid is anything humanoid and beastly. Famous cryptids. Wikipedia list of cryptids. They have like lists of lake monsters, aquatic. Bunyip from Australia. Hairy eel, my nickname in high school. Champy, Lake Champlain. There's a lot of them. Nessie, Loch Ness Monster. I don't know if you know that one. Did anybody else see the guy a few weeks ago that I think it was Books O Horror? It was one of those, and he was writing I think we talked about this, but I don't remember. He's in Ohio, and he said he's writing a Loch Ness Monster He's writing Loch Ness Monster set in some lake in Ohio. And somebody said, "What's the name of the lake?" And he said, like, the name of the lake. Let's call it Frank Lake. And they were like, "Well, then there's probably already like a Frank Lake monster." They're like, "No, though, there's no monster. There's no monster tied to this lake. So I'm gonna make it Loch Ness Monster." And they were like, "Loch Ness is the place. It's the lake. Okay, Loch Ness is the place. So you name it Frank Lake, whatever the name of the lake." And he could not get that. He's like, "Nope, Loch Ness is the name of the monster." He's like, "So people will know what I'm talking about." I'm like, and they're like, "Because they won't know what a lake monster is." And I was annoyed. It lived in my head as usual. I'd be like, "What? Why? That makes no sense." Lorraine says, "Where do you live, Tom? Any Bigfoot sightings in your neighborhood? You can cash in on that." Chad says, "I swore we just did famous cryptids a few weeks ago." I don't know. Maybe we could do it again. We could do anything again. Just trying to fill time. Lorraine says, "Everything that goes around comes around in this chat." Yep. Yeah, we talked about the Loch Ness guy. I didn't remember. Not everybody was there, Chad. So we're going to, you know what? I threw it in there. We're done. Frank doesn't recall. Frank wasn't there. Tom says, "New York originally, now 20 minutes from Armand. I could definitely pass as Bigfoot since I can almost grow a full beard." Yeah, Tom, for those who don't know, Tom lives at my mother-in-law's house. He's not dating my mother-in-law. Don't get a wrong idea. Him and his girl live there, and they take care of his girl takes care of my mom. Tom really don't do much of anything. They stay there to help us out. Tom shot for the skunk ape. Yeah, right. They're like, "Oh, there was a skunk ape killed out in the woods." No, that was just Tom. And what was Tom doing in the woods anyway? Lorraine is trying to dox Tom, I think is what you were trying to say there. Keith says, "We need Armand to start his tall tales with 'Gather around, boys and girls.'" Yeah. "Rub it in, Frank, that I'm falling at something that I don't know." Shots fired. Doesn't Tom own a river in Jersey? To dox. I don't think he's the Tom that they're talking about. Although I could be wrong. We haven't ever had that serious of a conversation about that. Chupacabra, Spanish for goat sucker. Also my nickname in high school. All right, we will do cryptids because Chad says we've already done that. So if you weren't involved in that conversation, I apologize. All right, hey, I was just trying to playfully join in with the other kids on the playground, Frank. Tom Duffy's river. That makes more sense. Tom Duffy is the name of the monster. Right. In Tom's river. I haven't seen Tom. He could be a hairless teenager for all I know. He's actually a 12-year-old girl. But in all fairness, she is very hairy. Salads yesterday at Jason's Deli. Scapegoat. Now there's a creature. We go into Jason's Deli, so they have the option of salad. They have one dish or I guess two dishes. But I welcome and I say two all you can eat salads. And the manager was he's like, we don't do that here. It's two trips. It's only two trips. I'm like, all right, whatever. Give me that. I'm thinking, you think you're gonna stop me from going up a third time? There's 500 people here eating. You think you're keeping track of me? I only went up two times anyway. Just says, Tom's the she, he at the end of Sleepaway Camp. Exactly. Tom says that guy was a jerk, right? Who owns Jason Deli? I guarantee you Jason doesn't anymore. He says, spoiler alert, Chad. Yeah, thanks, Chad. I was just about to watch that movie. Never. Lorraine is probably the only one here who hasn't seen the Sleepaway Camp cryptic, but she'll never watch it. I don't think I've seen it either. Yeah, don't be so cryptic. Yeah, the guy was not. I'm like, dude, it's salad. Relax. How much salad do you think I'm gonna eat here? Tom had some jalapenos, and then like a dumbass, he rubbed his eye. And I'm like, well, why are you so sad? Are we? Did I upset you? And he was like, no, I rubbed the jalapeno juice in my eye. Then his eyes were all red. He said they have the box set of Sleepaway Camp in the first aid kit design. Did you play it for Lisa? You guys sit down one night and watch it together? Frank says, I've rubbed so much ghost pepper in my eyes since growing them that a jalapenos probably wouldn't even cause me a single tear. Lorraine says, that a slasher movie, Chad? Yeah, I'll pass. I had my fill of slashers with Freddy Krueger back in the day. Key says she's seen it. That reminds me, I made her watch Miami Connection thanks to Chad. She hated it. Hated it. Hate is such a strong word. This was landing with daggers. And that's when you smack her on the ass. That pretty much works for anything you do. Don't blame me for Miami Connection. I gave you a half-hour warning about it. Hmm. For instance, your Foxy Shazam song of the day for Wednesday is Unstoppable. He says, you had such a good time, Chad. I wanted to join in. I loved it. At least one of you liked it, right? 84 degrees right here, right now. I don't know why I said right here. 84 degrees over there. Keith can appreciate a bad movie. You know what? Yeah, you turn the brain off and you just watch it for what it is. To me, a bad movie is a good movie. Not a great movie, but a good movie. It's like somebody, actually, lots of somebody's thought this was an idea to spend money on to make this movie. Tom says Miami Connection is great. Friends, fraternity, loyalty, honesty. I don't even know what Miami Connection is. I'm gonna look this up now. I'm sure it'll be something that I don't ever watch. 1987 American independent martial arts film. Is that what we're talking about, people? I don't like martial arts films. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't watch this anyway, but although the listing does sound really interesting. A martial arts rock band goes up against a band of motorcycle ninjas who have tightened their grip on Florida's narcotics trade. The budget on that movie was $1 million. It's on the Roku channel. You can watch it right now. And I'm not going to. I've gotten like 3 messages from Pizza Hut today. I don't want your pizza. Stop sending me messages. My favorite line was when the one dude got a letter about his father and the other one said we were all orphans. I'm like, you still have fathers. What's so creepy about Miami? Yeah. What's so creepy about Miami anyway? Oh, I thought it was thunder. It's a plane. Thunder. Thunder. Just a plane. I haven't eaten lunch today. My wife, on her way back from Atlanta yesterday, she stopped somewhere for lunch and they had chocolate chip and brownie cookies. And it was buy half a dozen, get a half a dozen free. So, of course, she had to get them. And so she ate a couple. And then last night we ate a couple. And then I was like, I'm getting hungry. She was home this morning. She had to go and run and take her aunt to the doctor. And then she's doing dinner with her at her mom's tonight. So she won't be home. I'm like, I'm gonna have a couple of these cookies. She's like, yeah, go ahead. So I had the cookies, but that was like at 11 o'clock, and now I'm like, I'm hungry. And then looking up salmon recipes. Tubi had Miami Connection. I was like, it's meant to be. You know what? If Tubi has it, you got to watch it. Yeah, Thunder, Thundercats. Got it for the strong, wonderful Wednesday. Lorraine, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the permafrost video. Hopefully, I will see you tomorrow. Gotta keep these fellas in line. What are your top 3 preparations of salmon? I'm going to tell you. Number 1, I say to Shelly, can you do something with this salmon? And then she makes something for me, even though she doesn't eat salmon. Number 2, Shelly, can you think of a different way to make this salmon for me? Number 3, Shelly, you made it these 2 different ways. You have a third way to make this. He says, bye, milady. Chad says, did you guys see that Lansdale has his very last Happen Leonard coming out? Talk about getting sad over missing some characters. Been writing them for 40 years. That must have been tough. Yes. Yes, on both accounts. Yes, I saw it. Yes, it is sad. Those characters have lived with him for many, many years. I'm sure he'll write something else with them, though. Poached, seared, blackened, grilled. You might be right. Uncooked, smoked, blackened. I don't like uncooked. Mikey, talk to y'all later. I don't think I have the chops to make it to do blackened. And I definitely am not using the smoker. So, Tom, you're out. Your choices are just out. Poached, I don't even know what that is. It's stealing. You steal them? Because I already have the salmon. I don't have to go out and steal them. At least he didn't die before finishing them like Dorsey. Yeah. Joe's getting up there in years. Yeah. Although I don't think Dorsey ever would have wrote a final search terms. No, I don't think he would have either. I think he would have just kept writing them. Now Lorraine is going. Charlie loves blackened salmon. All right, let me look this up. Blackened salmon. Come on. It's a healthy, flavorful dish featuring salmon fillets. I know it's fillets. Coated in a rich Cajun-style spice blend and seared in a hot skillet, usually cast iron, until a dark, crisp crust forms. It uses spices like paprika, cayenne, garlic powder, and thyme, often cooked in butter for a moist interior. There's a video that tells you how to do it. So you're going to do it for 3 or 4 minutes on either side. Tom says it's too spicy for you. No, I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use half this stuff. I'm not going to use the paprika or the cayenne. Throw some garlic powder and some. Actually, I think she has a some kind of seafood rub that she has that I'll probably just end up using that. I just need to know like the basics. So there's a common blackened seasoning. You can use paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, dried oregano and thyme, cayenne pepper, salt and black pepper, and a little brown sugar for caramelization. And then a squeeze of fresh lemon juice on top. You know what? I might make this. I'm going to leave this up. I'll kind of play with it. Just I want to grab the 6th Happen Leonard off my shelf to read today and realized I didn't own it. Ran to eBay. It'll be here next week. You definitely want a moist interior. Oh yeah, I definitely do. Just buy blackened seasoning. My wife might have blackened seasoning. I got to look through. She's got baskets. She's like 3 crates of stuff for the smoker and everything else. Might even have it. Look, if I say to her, "Hey, do we have this?" I remember when you didn't have to explain you were saying it wrong on purpose. Somebody likes to correct me, so I have to do that. Definitely use smoked paprika over straight paprika, or in my case, no paprika. Before you were monetized, yeah. And those days were so long ago, Keith. I hardly remember them. Frank says, no, just go to the store and buy a box of blackened seasoning. Recipes are too complicated for you. You need turnkey food prep. Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, Frank. I'm not bragging. I'm actually a pretty good cook. It's just my wife is way better than me, and I'm lazy, but I can actually cook some stuff. Frank says, I haven't read a single Happen Leonard book. 2 or 3, maybe 3. The Dark Ages. I can follow a recipe. And half of the meals every week, lunches and dinners, I got to make myself because my wife's not here. So, Mondo Bar at MondoCon. Yep, everybody gets pork roll and cheese on cinnamon raisin bagels. Everybody gets New Jersey style Monte Cristos. Actually, we'll probably do that on Sunday again. Everybody gets cosmic brownies. Now's the time, Frank. Savage season, do it up. Comes a salad bar at MondoCon. You can only go up twice. Yeah. And Shelly will be watching. Tom, you've been up twice. You'd be like, no, I just got a packet of crackers. Tom, down. You're done. Choices. I'm probably a couple of books behind now, but I was caught up with Happen Leonard several years ago. Dude's written more. Jump on there. Yeah, I am definitely. I probably have to thaw out the salmon though. So maybe I'll do that. It'll be for dinner. Salmon for dinner. Brains for dinner. Brains for lunch. Chaz says that's the only Mrs. song I actually don't like. I don't know what to tell you. I'm drinking peach sweet tea. It's delicious. But it's not like my wife didn't make sweet tea. It's like they 0 calorie whatever. Because I get sick of just drinking water all the time. I'm sick of it. What we got on the time here? We got about 15 more minutes to play around with. Only 8 people have watched my How I Did with Imposter Syndrome video. You can never tell, you know what I'm saying? Bad things to say to writers, 102 views, but 22 comments. But then I don't read my reviews, 14,859. I mean, how I went from hard to crime thriller, 26,573 looks, 44,000 or 45,000 hobby versus career writing, 45,000 all over the place. Some of these have like 25 views. Have been Leonard best read in order, or does it not really matter? Frank asked. We're gonna read the first one, the last one first. Go backwards. They're old men in the last book, and then they're babies in the first book, and you're like, this is Benjamin Button all over again. I don't know, I never I really saw that movie. Here you go. Here you go, Chad. Tigers extend Kevin McGonigal. What did I say? This kid's gonna be something. 8-year, $150 million extension with him. Contract begins next season. He's still on a league minimum salary this year. Runs through 2034. And can tack on another $10 million in total via a series of escalators, giving the deal a maximum value of $160 million. $20 million a year is a pretty good price for a kid like that. It's a good move. Number 2 prospect in all of baseball. Good for him. Good for him. Says McGonigal is the man right now. Always on base, nabs the line drives every time. He is the man. Yeah. Well, you know what? Apparently they think so as well. They're like, this kid's going nowhere. We'll buy out all of his arbitration years, which you probably will make way more than $20 million a year on him. $14 million signing bonus up front. He earns $1 million salary next year. So he's at like the 780,000 this year. Million next year, 7 million the next year, 16 million, then 21 million, then 22 million, and 23 million. And then it goes 25, 26, 28. And if he's traded at any time during this 8-year contract, he gets a $5 million assignment bonus. That's a good move for them. Hopefully the kid keeps doing what he's doing. Frank says, Savage season is available to borrow from the library. Winning. Chet says, happy reading, Frank. He hit his first home run just the other day, but you never know because he's excelling in everything else. Yeah. I told you, Chad. What did I say? Watching this kid, I'm like, this kid's legit. Number 2 prospect in all of baseball, behind Connor Griffin, who got a huge friggin' deal himself. That's the deal. You know, you sign these kids, you sign them to these extensions when they're you buy out all their arbitration years. I like what he's doing. I like what he's doing a lot. You did say, I did say, right? I did right in the beginning. I said, watch this kid. Well, you know, I should look up. I'm going to look up. For come on, it's not this. Holy crap! With the pop-ups. I'm gonna look. I want to see who's playing Saturday nights. If they will let me. because we are going to dinner, and then my wife's going to do some gambling in that casino. So I'm like, you know what? I want to see. Saturday the 18th. Let's see who's playing at night after dinner. Yeah. Oh, the Tigers are in Boston at 4 o'clock that day, which will be 3 o'clock because of the time difference. So I'll be like, hey, let's go down. Hey, why don't you gamble a little bit in the afternoon on Saturday? We go over to the other place and then we'll go to dinner. Let me watch the game. I think we're at 8 o'clock. I think our dinner reservation is at 8 p.m. at the steakhouse, so we can go over and I can watch the game. She can do some gambling. Imagine being the kid who, after a loss, is able to shrug and say, well, I don't know where you guys were at tonight, but I played my part. If they lose, it's not because of him. Hope he keeps it up. Yeah. He just seems like, yeah, watching the interview, he just seems like a good kid. So does that Connor Griffin kid from Pittsburgh. He just seems like a normal guy. And his mom's got some thighs on her. Woo. Mama. So there you go. There you go. So watch some games. Let me get off this garbage. Would you say she's a Thunder mother? Give me 45 minutes and let me look it up. Yeah, she was wearing when Connor Griffin, when he had his major league debut, she was in the stands with like the whole family. Not I didn't see a dad anywhere. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like his brother and sister and his hot little girlfriend, all that. But mom was wearing white pants, and she had. I mean, he's 19, so what's mom probably 30, maybe older. Mom can't be more than like 45. Connor Griffin's mom. Let's go to images. Yeah, they don't really give a good. There's really not a good picture of mom here. It's mom close up. It's mom crying. I don't want her to cry. We haven't gone to bed together yet. He's got that typical cute little girlfriend, though, that she's like, oh my God, I'm going to make. I need to not cheat on this dude. Because he just 9-year, $140 million he just made. Yeah, I better be really, really, really nice to him. Chad says Stacy's mom. Exactly. What's funny too is MLB, unlike every other sport, these are all guaranteed contracts. So when they get locked out in 2027, these dudes are still getting paid. This money's still flowing at them like a boss. I think that's how you say it. I'm going to Yankee game this Saturday. Who are they playing? Versus the elite Kansas City Royals. Hey, you might win a game this week. Yankees are doing good this year, except for the last week. They were running away with it. And now this week, all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, we just lost 5 and 6 games in a row. Which makes me very sad. And again, I root for every team but the Yankees. I don't have to even root against the Mets because they are just so pathetic. It's great. The Dodgers are always killing it, though. Dodgers, it's boring. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, you're gonna win the World Series again. All right, let's let somebody else win a couple games here, guys. Come on. And then next off season, after I guess the season after, then they're gonna start scooping up buying players again. The only way that works is with a salary cap, which is probably never going to happen. So I wrote 260 words today, which I guess is something. I'll probably write a couple, 3 more words later on. That'll be about it. I got to see if I got to take this. I probably will just take the salmon out. Let it. The rest are doing a little better. Yeah, they won like 5 in a row, and then they lost. I think they lost 1 or 2 the last ones, but they're not doing the Tigers any favors, getting beaten by the Twins. But again, 162 games, so we got a lot of season ahead of us. Yeah, the Twins killed the Tigers. We lost all 4 games. Yeah. It's that Byron Buxton guy. It's that frigging guy. Well, maybe I'll make honey garlic salmon. I made that before. That was really good. A little bit of soy sauce, some honey. Let me look at that recipe. I think I wrote it down already. No, that was broccoli and go deal. I think I'm going to make this. I don't think I have wild salmon, though. My salmon is just kind of boring. They add parsley. Do I really need parsley? Like parsley, you just throw on top because let's put a little green on top. I think I definitely have parsley though, so I can. Salmon, garlic, honey, lemon, parsley. I have some lemon juice. I don't have freshly squeezed lemon juice, but I have the little plastic thing that's shaped like a lemon, so that might count. Parsley is like adding water to something for flavor, right? I mean, this person says, I love to add fresh herbs to just about any savory dish. It really elevates the flavor. parsley or cilantro works well for this recipe. I don't think it does. It's just for color, really, so something doesn't look too bland. Yeah, I like the bland. I like how they do so this is like one of those recipes that does it completely out of order. They tell you the things you need, but they don't tell you how much of each you need. And then how to make it. You dry the salmon, then you season it on all sides. But they don't tell you anything about what the seasoning is. So you're like, okay, I'll put the seasoning. What's the seasoning? Because you haven't given me that part yet. So step 5 is make the sauce, but you need this. All right, I'll figure this out. People are idiots. You got to scroll all the way to down for the recipe. Yeah, but the problem is, again, my grandmother was in Portugal in 1867. She made this. She met a fisherman. And that's the problem. You got to go all the way to the freaking bottom of this. All right. All right. I'm going to write this recipe. I thought I had a recipe for this, but I guess I don't know what I did with it. All right, anyway. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. I'll let you know tomorrow how my honey garlic salmon was. We'll see what happens. And keep watching those ads, people. Keep shining. Keep being you. Stay golden, Pony Boy. I will see everybody tomorrow.